Hi, I'm disability attorney Andrew November, and you're watching Andrew's Answers. Today we're going to talk about medical evidence. Medical evidence is the most important factor in any LTD case, and that's because those are the documents that the insurance company is going to review when they decide to approve or deny your case. So we need to think about what should be in your medical evidence. First and foremost, if you're going to hire an attorney and talk to them about your case, you need to make sure that you are prepared to identify all of your treating sources. So as I always say, I can't read your mind. I will order the medical records that you tell me about, but I'm not going to know where you treat unless you tell me. So make sure you are aware of all the treatment you've had so we can get that. Second, is you need to make sure that you're seeing specialists for your condition. I know a lot of us out there have great primary care or internist doctors. I love mine. I'm sure you do too. But in order to show the restrictions and limitations you have, we need a specialist. And that's because the specialist will be focused on the specific issue you're dealing with and is going to build a much more comprehensive record that I can use to show that you're unable to do your job. Number 3, you really need to be clear with your doctor about what is going on in your life. Nobody likes going to the doctor. I get it, but you can't go in there and just say, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm bad. Because a lot of doctors are just going to write that down. You need to go in there and be as specific as possible about what you're dealing with. For instance, if you're dealing with fatigue, don't just go in there and say, I'm tired. Give an example. Maybe you got out of bed, took a shower, but by the time you got out of the shower, you were so wiped out, you decided to go back to bed. That's what I want to see in your record, as I want to see clear reports of what you're dealing with, because my advocacy is only as strong as your medical records. Also, I want you to consider whether you are establishing an objective basis for your condition. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have back pain and all you're doing is going to your doctor and saying, I have back pain, that's not enough. You need to make sure your doctors are ordering tests. Maybe you need an x-ray or an MRI, a blood test. There's a variety of tests out there that can objectively establish a foundation for your complaints. So make sure that tests are being ordered so we can show that you have a condition, you have these limitations, and these limitations are reasonably consistent with the condition you have. Also, and this one you got to be careful with, is take advantage of online messaging to doctors. Now, if you're a Cleveland Clinic patient, you probably have access to MyChart. There's a fine line with how I want people to use MyChart. I do think it's helpful as a way to communicate what you're dealing with to your doctor without having to actually make an appointment or go to an appointment. Don't drive your doctor crazy, but also don't incur charges because some hospitals and medical facilities are starting to charge for MyChart use. So make sure you understand that before you send a message. Also, everything you put in those messages is going to end up in your medical record. They go right into your medical record. So be careful what you say, because just like you see in the movies, anything you say can and will be used against you in your case. So it's very important that you're clear but concise and always aware that everything you say will end up in your record. Those are some tips on how you build your record, but everyone's case is different. So if you want to talk about your case, give me a call, send me an online message. I would love to talk to you. Thank you for watching.